The other one, the other video that's been running live, I had to put it on private just so people would stop going on it because it keeps saying, and it won't even process the video. So that's what I don't understand. I can't even delete it. I went into my live stream there to even delete the video from yesterday, and I can't even delete it. So I wrote on Google's forums. I gave them a link to the video, a link to my channel, telling them that it was saying I was live. It's still showing up live, and I can't end it. When I ended it last night, when I hit the stop broadcast button, it said air, ending broadcast. And I thought, okay, so the end broadcast button came back. I hit it again, said the same thing. So the only way I got out of that Google Hangout was by hitting the little telephone. If you scroll up on you'll see that red hang up button that says leave call. I had to leave the call that way. So the video stuck in live mode for some reason, but it's not playing anything. It's not recording anything. So it's just, it won't even process. And the only way that video is going to process is if it's if it ended. So not sure how they're going to fix that. If they're going to fix that, they haven't even read that message I sent them. So God knows what. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Hi, guys. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Denise. So, guys, we're going to learn a little cross-stitching today. I thought it would be a fun Sunday afternoon kind of day to do a nice little pumpkin. Now, the video or the free pattern, this is a free pattern I got off the internet. The link to it is below this video. So if you click the show more box or description box, you'll see at the very top, I linked this pattern. It's some kind of flicker anyway. You can download it and you can print it out, and it's free to use. It's just copyrighted, which means you can't say you made this. And I'm not going to say I made this because I didn't. It was copyrighted by Kirsten Schmidt of 2015. So there's the website kissycross2day.net, whatever. Anyway. So I want to teach you a few things about cross-stitching before I even get started with my colors and my platform here. Now this die came from Paper Smooches called cross-stitch. Pretty basic, same straightforward cross-stitch pattern. Now this one here is wide enough to do my pumpkin, but it's not long enough to do this pumpkin cross stitch. So I have to double it out and then find the center, because we always start in the center. But let me show you some different things. Now for cross stitching, this is my particular tool that I like to use. I actually had to buy a brand new one because my daughter took it upon herself to steal my other one. And yeah, she never returned it. So she started cross stitching, and this is just a snap together frame. I love this. Wonderful. I only use this for my cross stitching, and you will see why. These pop off, and your fabric that you use, no matter if it's 8 cloth or linen. I didn't want that. Anyway, it's a very easy snap together, and you can get this in all kinds of sizes. So this here is what I use for my cross stitching all the time, and just this specific size right here. And this comes from Amazon. So what you do is you remove all of these off of it, and right now they're really stiff, but they do stretch, and they got like little ribbing inside of it. Do you see the ribbing? That sort of keeps your fabric nice and tight, but they do stretch over time, and then you've got problems. Now when you cross stitch, there's a lot of those hoop frames that you can buy. I don't like those. I've tried them. I hate them. I don't ever use them.
Hi, Mary.
So, for example, this is a piece of... Hi, Mary. This is a piece of linen. Okay, this is cross-stitch linen, and it is by a company called... Let me just dig out through my linens here. I have a brand new package, not even open. And I'm not telling you, I'm telling you right now, this stuff is not cheap, okay? This is 28 count Ziegwart linen. The stuff I need for my specific pattern is a 32 count. So that means it's even smaller than this. 32 count is probably the smallest linen, which is this right here. Okay. You always work over 2 pieces of the cloth that's in this linen. It's very complicated to understand. Anyway, this is called Cashel Linen by Ziegwart Needle Fabrics. It's perfect. It comes in one big whole piece like this. But then again, for beginners, absolute beginners, I recommend you guys using a piece of Aida cloth. So this is some of my leftover Aida cloth from the holes are quite big, and you can see quite exactly where you would make your cross stitch hole. Do you see the little boxes?
Yeah.
That is where you would make your cross stitch in there. The linen is a different fabric. The linen requires you to go over 2 pieces. This one here, again, you're going to go over 2 threads instead of 1 thread, whereas in an Aida cloth, you always go over only 1 thread, and it's a big ass thick one anyway. You can't miss it. This one here is much more fine. You have to go over 2 threads to make a cross stitch. So I'm going to try so hard for those of you that are beginners to help you understand how to do this. Now, this is Aida cloth. I'm telling you, this is the most easiest thread or background paper or cloth to use. You can use that plastic mesh cloth, but guys, hi Sean, that is my real son actually.
Okay.
Can actually use that plastic stuff, but I'm telling you that stuff is junk. And your cross stitch is going to look like hell because the holes and the gaps are huge. This one here is perfect for beginners, for people that have bad eyesight, because you don't really have a lot to have to look for, whereas you're working with 32 count linen. This is what my crystal, this girl here, has to be on. You can see her color of her background is the same color, and I ordered the same color. On the pattern, it says, stitched on 32 count Stony Point linen by Whitfield Import. So this is what I ordered from them. And the finished stitching area will be 11.5 by 17.75 inches wide, and it will be 11.5 long, and it's stitched count over 182 by 282. So it's stitched over 2 over 2, which means you go over. When you see a pattern that says 2 over 2, it's telling you you're stitching over 2 threads to make that one cross stitch, and then 2 threads to go the other way. It gives you a whole list of all the DMC threads that you require for this and how many of each. So the white that's got a star with a 3 beside it, that means they want you to buy 3 skeins of it. 3 skeins, by that I means this. You will buy a whole entire skein and wrap it on your own bobbin. They don't come on these. You wrap them on your own bobbins, but that's 1 skein. They want you to get 3 of those because that's what it's going to take to finish the whole entire picture. Now, over here, it shows 169-775. You're probably going, okay, what does that mean? Now, what that means in the pattern is they want you to take a strand, and if you read, where is it? Did I take it out? Right here. All right. So this is what I do. This is the pattern. This is actually laminated. What I do is I get this printed out. So this is all my writing that's on the inside of the pattern on this side here, because this is instructions on how you're going to do your stitching. You can see one that I can read better. This one is just too small. So it says shaded rows are repeated on each side. So back stitch with 1 strand, ribbons with 413. So it's telling you the ribbons here, wherever the ribbons are, you look for the ribbons on here. Whatever's the ribbon is a back stitch. But candles, dress, and gloves with 844. Back stitch connecting treasures with this, skin and eyelids. So anyways, they're telling you that. Now they want you to back stitch with 2 strands, back stitch with 3 strands, and so on and so forth. And these are additional instructions. So I stitch uses 378. Fill the upper lip with 602. Fill the lower lip with 603. So it's just a shade off in the color difference, but it's going to give you that shaded mouth. You don't know it because sometimes you're working with thread and it's like, this looks like the same color. Boring, it's not the same color. When you actually get it finished, it's not the same color. Okay, so that's what I do with this. And then I take my color chart, which is right here, and I blew this up as well because it's much easier for me to read this than it is to read this teeny ass pattern. Like, can you read that? Look how small.
No.
Well, I always get these blown up by our paper photocopier company. It's called Lowe's here. Staples will do it. Staples does all kinds of copying for you. But this is what I have. Where is it? Oh, it's over here. Anyway, I have my I showed you guys that pattern that I had it all blown up. Now, back to this pattern here. When it shows two numbers here, I think it even tells you this. Blends are one strand each. Braid is one strand. So anything over here is the braided stuff, these three colors here. So let me show you here. These are the braids. You're only going to use one strand. When you see two numbers, let's use this one, two numbers, 169, 775, they want you to use one strand of 169 and one strand of 775. That's what these double numbers mean. So if you hit this 0 with a thing through it, 437, 745, they want you to take, let me just show you. This is my stuff for this particular project. So they want you to take 437, 745. So 437 is this, and 745 is this. And they want you to take a strand of each of these two colors and put them together and then do your stitching. So that's how easy that is to understand. A
lot of people are lost right now. What steps are y'all lost on? Because a lot of people are saying they're lost.
Okay. Well,
start out with your pumpkin. Yeah.
Okay. She's lost because I don't even know. Anyway, this is the stitching area. This is what you're going to use for your pattern. Now let me go get my pattern so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Now this here, I purchased many, 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 many moons ago when I first started cross stitching. It's actually a stand that you stand up and your pattern goes up on it like this. So when you're working with your cross stitch pattern, you got it right there in front of you. And this is why I blow mine up like this. Okay. This is only a piece of the pattern. And I have it blown up this big so I can read this from a distance. So when I'm sitting there cross stitching, I wrap this piece around my board like so. Just wrap it up, fold this part up, fold this part in, fold this part in, and I stand it up on my little stand here, and I start cross stitching, and then I just color in as I go. That's how this works. So this is why I blow this pattern up. I mean, you got to move it a lot more than just the regular small pattern. And then these are sitting right beside me, so I just keep these in check, or I just tuck them inside here and pull them out as I need them. So if I come to something here, like say I need to do the star here, I'm going to pull out this one and I'm going to look for the star on here. And I don't even see a star. Where's the star? Is this the right one? Yes, it is. Am I missing it? Which pattern is this? Maybe this is a different one.
Ruby,
No,
I
this looks
posted the name of a magnifying stand that I got years ago for my crochet patterns because I cannot read that.
Yes, this is magnetic. Yes, it had magnets with it. I just don't know where they are right now.
Yeah, and mine has a magnifier thingy on it.
All right, why am I missing the star here? I don't see the star anywhere. Is it over here? Okay, here it is. The star is a metallic thread, so that's the thread you're going to use, 011HL, and it's Krnicki metallic threads. These here are the Mill Hill beads. That will be the last thing I do, is put the Mill Hill beads on. Because putting your fabric, now let me show you this. Putting your fabric in your frame here. So for instance, you're gonna, oh, and by the way, if you have raw edges on your fabric, you need to put some tape on them. This is medical tape to cover the edges, because you will end up with so much of your linen frayed, it will be destroyed, especially if you need to get to an edge. But anyways, this is how you're going to put it on your hoop. Well, I'm not going to use it this way because my pattern is lengthwise, so I'm going to start in the middle here. But anyway, it goes on here like so. Now, I always took my fabric because I can't handle anything hanging down. I would fold my fabric over like this, put it on top like that, and snap this on. Okay? Oh, shit. My patch is stuck in there. That's my pattern, too. All right. So you're just going to snap that on. And it's best to get rid of any tails hanging down because it interferes with your cross stitching, believe me. All right, so then you could just pull it nice and snuggy here. And you can see I already marked the center of my fabric with a pen. And you won't see it anyway because it gets covered with threads. So you pull this on like this, and then you give it a turn, and it tightens your linen. So turn it, and it tightens your whole board. And the sides don't seem to be too bad, so I'm good with that. And you want to tighten your end. And I could see my linen is kind of crooked. I would definitely put this on way straighter. But now I can see my holes. You can see my hand behind this. This is where you would start in the very center and work over 2 threads. But I'm not going to use this right now. But this is a really cool hoop, embroidery hoop, or whatever you guys call it. This thing is so cool. And like I said, my daughter took my other one. So this is a brand new one. So it's nice and tight. But it does loosen up. Why I tell you to wrap your linen up in here is when you're back stitch or you're stitching, you're coming from the back front. Sometimes this gets snagged in behind when you're doing the thread, then you got to rip it all out. So that's why you want to get rid of your long ends and keep the raw edges covered. So that's that. Now we're going to work off of a paper. And I ripped my pattern. We're going to work off of a sheet of paper today because I'll just show you the basics of cross stitching. And today's colors, I am using this. Now, if you go look at her colors, they're not these colors. This is a whitish pumpkin, and I don't want a white pumpkin. So I chose to use only this color, the red one, which is DMC 304. It's a reddish color. You can kind of see it's reddish color to hers. And this one here is 642, which is supposed to be brown. These two are mixed up. You can clearly see 642 is this color, not that color. So I switched those. And then I took, instead of their 3052 color for a brown, which was a pukey, ugly color, I chose 839, which is a brown color, because the stitching is brown. This is brown, okay? And then I chose 2 colors of orange, and one is a lighter orange, and then I'll use this one for the shadowing that's inside the pumpkin here. So I'm going to use all of these nice traditional fall colored threads in my project today. Now, where's that needle? I hope I didn't lose it. I am using a size 20 needle, or what did I say this was? 22. Anyway, it's a big ass needle, and it's got dull. So it's not a big needle. It's just good enough for paper. So I don't want to lose these. So let me just get rid of these and put them back in the box where I've got them for my pattern. Okay, so that's that. Here are all the different linens. So again, there's a 28 count here. We've got Aida cloth in this creamy color. We've got white linen. I have this already started. This was a mistake. I had to restart my whole project. This is a piece of 32 count linen as well in the white. And my project, I put it on, I started stitching it wrong. I have to rip all these stitches out because it was supposed to go this way.
Hi, Tracy.
So I screwed up. Now you got to really pay attention to what direction your linen's going in.
Yeah.
This here was supposed to be this way. So that's
Barbara.
that's again another kind of linen. So this is a 32 count, 28 count. Yeah, you got all kinds of linens that you can get from this company, or you can just search anywhere in Google. Type in cross-stitch linen. You'll get all kinds of linens, all kinds. Promise you. And if you buy a specific pattern, make sure you can get the linen to match that pattern. It's very important you use the linen that the pattern requires, because with my Christmas Queen, I used the wrong linen. I used I used 28 count linen. It was supposed to be 32 count. That's why it turned out so big. And I ran out of threads, and I couldn't understand why I was running out of the thread colors I was using, so I had to go get more threads. It's because I used a big hunk of wrong linen. So live and learn. All right, so we are going to find the center of our pumpkin, and that is where we are going to start. And as you can see, the graph here always shows you where the center is. So our very first few stitches are going to be in this right here, and then we will just continue doing our pattern. So I will be starting right here in the center of this. So I need to cut out, let me get that needle there. I need to cut out my cross stitch pattern. All right, out of my Sizzix. So let's see how that turns out, because I've never used it. Let's see how amazing this is. And this is fun to try for beginners. This would be an alternative to just going out spending money on the linens and the DMC threads, and then it doesn't turn out for you. So, because you're not understanding how to cross stitch yet. So this would be a perfect way to learn. Absolute perfect way. Now, when you're putting this and continuing it on one sheet of paper, this die, let me see how that turned out with punched holes. I'm using thick paper, and you can see the holes did not punch through it. So it's going to go back in. I'm going to put some sheets of paper underneath that to raise it up. Not raise it up, but, you know. Okay, so I'm going to put it back down here. And it moved. See, the outer edges are the only thing that had cut on this. All right. So I'm going to put these two sheets on top. Maybe even three. Just to push it right down tight. And let's run it through again. And I want to feel pressure. And I do. All right. So now it's really going to cut. For sure. All right. Let's check this now. There we go. Now our hole's punched. I hope. Well, we shall find out. Where's that needle? I'll just poke a few out. See if they work. Yes. Okay. Now, here's what you need to do to continue on. So you're going to go up a couple of rows. You're going to reattach your thing a couple of rows up. So I'm going to reattach it this way. I'm going to overlap it. That's what I'm doing. I'm overlapping it into the ones I already cut. That's kind of forcing it, so you shouldn't really be doing that, but I want it to work.
Florence says hello, Ruby.
Hi, Florence. All right, let's have a look and see how this turned out. Okay, woohoo! We got our cross stitch pattern. We sure do. All right, I'm loving that. All right, so this is right on my new things, guys. Look at, I got a cross stitch pattern.
Ooh.
Oh, don't.
Do it again. Do it again.
Brand new cutting plates. Oh, muffin. All right.
Yeah, it is fun. There's so many patterns out there, and oh wow, beautiful things.
All right.
I'm always looking for like the mobile frames with the glass bubbles on them. Oh yeah, you can find some of them that are decent. Snatch them up, make beautiful cross-stitch frames. Three-dimensional. Oh, paper crafting too.
Yes. Okay,
Really?
so I am not going to sit here and punch all these holes out.
You got your whisker thingy.
You don't need to, but you do need to work on your pattern. Follow your pattern now. So now I need to find the center of this little piece of card. So let me count my rows. $33. All right, so there's 33.
So the middle would be 32.
27. So I'd have to say maybe right there. Right there looks like it's about this the center.
Yeah, what was I thinking?
Exactly.
That's
That is
good
exactly the center. All right. So this is my center here. So we need to start with the center of the pumpkin. And I'm always going to use a highlighter. You should use a highlighter to color in the area that you've done so you don't get confused. So I'm going to stitch 4 of these in the orange. And I think I'm just going to use this color orange, right, is the one that's in the center. 720, is that the one I chose? Nope, this one. Okay, so let me get a piece, and I'm going to use 2 strands only. So let me show you a trick how to separate your DMC. Just twirl it, and pull off 2 strands. So I'm pulling off 2 strands here. I'm holding it and I'm just pulling it. Okay, and then bringing this down like this. And there's my 2 strands gone. Okay, and now just set this aside because you can reuse this. Okay, all these pieces, you just rewind this back on your bobbin and you save it for your next stitching because I'm probably going to run out. And the way I always put it on my bobbin to show that I've already used the thread on here is I wrap it this way on my bobbin. Well, you can see that one's not cooperating with me, but that's okay. I'm in a rush. All right, and then you just hook it in there, and that shows that you can see I've used this one before. So, okay. So we've got 2 strands here. We're going to just put it through our needle. All right, and we're going to come up from the back. You always come up from a hole in the back. So I need to create a stitch. So I am going to pull my needle through here, but I am going to hold my thread at the back for now. Okay, and I'm going to work it in. I'm going to work it in with my cross stitching. So I'm coming up here, and you want to go into this next hole here. So you go across. So pretend this is 2 stitches in between. So what I'm getting at is, say you're working on linen, you're going to cross stitch. You're going to go across and count 2 stitches and skip 2 and go into the next one. So you're going to come up here like so, and you're going to pull your thread. So there's your first cross stitch. Okay. And that
One way to also think about it, ladies, too, is that your top thread always goes from the left to the right. Always.
or the right to the left is the way I work. Now, to make a complete cross stitch, you're going to come up from the bottom. So you always come from the bottom to the top. You never work your way from the top to the bottom. Okay? So you go down below this one here. You come up through that one on the bottom, right? And then you cross over and go into the next hole. So there is one complete cross stitch.
With your
Okay?
thread going on top from left to right.
Right. So now I need to do another.
It's so fun and easy.
So basically I need to do in this one row here, I'm going to do 4 stitches. So I'm just going to go up here by 4 stitches. And then I'll color them in the pumpkin pattern and I will show you how this turns out. So there's 2. And I don't really need to poke those. And there's 3 right here. And when you pull this with your, when you're working on a piece of linen, yeah. It doesn't matter which stitch you take first as long as you go from the bottom to the top. Okay? Doesn't matter. There we go. So I have 4 stitches done in here. So now on my pattern, you can see let me just highlight them. I've done 4 stitches. I've done those 4 right there. See? So as you can see, I need to do 2 more on each side before I need to change color. But I want to complete these 2 rows and then I'll change my color. So I need to do 2 more. So I'm going to just go and repeat. So I'm going to work my way this way here because it's shorter for me to cut across. So as you can see, this is kind of weaved in here. You see? It's not really weaved in, but it's there. So I'm going from right to left and left to right. Okay? And I'm going to do another cross stitch. So I'm going to come down here, right below it, and I'm going to create another cross stitch. So this is a full cross stitch. This one here doesn't want to poke. That was a little toughie. Get that out. All right. And with the linen, you don't want to use a dull needle. And you'll see why. Okay, so I've completed 2 more, and now I need to do 2 more on the bottom. So I'm coming from the bottom to the top.
Duller needles are made for bigger holes. Sharp needles are made for small holes.
Yes, this is a big hole, so I can get away with using this dull needle. It's like a darning needle. Oops.
Yeah.
Now, on a normal basis, when you're doing cross stitching, okay, on a normal basis, you would not take large jumps across your work on the back. Why? Because your fabric or your threads will be really loose in here and they'll be hanging there. So what I do to weave my way back to this, like I can see right here that this is not cut here. It's very, very hard to see, but it's not really cut. What I do, if I'm going a long distance and I want to go back over here, I take my needle and I weave my way underneath the threads that I just put on. So this is how you would keep your work nice and neat at the back. Okay, so you can see my thread is not dragged right across here and there's not a big gap thread hanging there. And now I'm going to continue on and do the rest of my pattern. So you can see here, I've done all of these 8 stitches. So you can see up here, I have 8 stitches, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches are complete. Now I'm going to work over here and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on both the bottom and on the top. So we're going to do 5 more stitches. Now I'm going to show you another shortcut way to do this. So I always work from left to right. So we're going to go one stitch, 1, 2. I'm only doing the half cross stitch right now. I'm not doing the complete one, and I'll show you why. There's 3, and there's my 4th one. Okay.
Ruby, people are asking for a quick close-up to see what you're doing so far.
Okay, let me see if I can bring up my camera a lot closer.
Yeah, good idea.
How's that?
Much better.
Okay, so we've just created 4 stitches, but they're half cross stitches. Those are half stitches, but when they call for a half stitch, you don't go in this direction. Half stitches are in this direction. But anyway, I'm doing it this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches. Now all you're going to do to complete your cross stitch and end up back where you were is by just going through them this way. So now there completes that one. Come up through there, completes that one. Come up through here. When you have a long row of stitches to do, this is a really good way to do a long row of the same stitches all in one color. So there's that one. All right. So there I have just completed the 4 stitches in there by doing the two strands there. Okay, see? Now drop down here and I'm going to go the right way now to show you how to do a half cross stitch, and it's just from one corner to the next corner. That's a half stitch. Some patterns will call for a half stitch, and that's the one you're going to do. But when you're cross stitching, you need to be consistent in your stitches. So if you're doing it all this way, then continue to do the whole thing this way and don't change and go back and forth like I'm doing in this paper. Okay, so whenever I punch a hole, my needle falls out of it. Okay, so there's that one. So there's the 4 half stitches done. So you know 1, 2, if you count them, you've got your 4 stitches done. Just count them. And now you complete your cross stitch by doing a full stitch and going back. And this is actually how I actually cross stitch. I go exactly this way, from right to left. Is my second crossover stitch. Okay, so we have, whoops, see how easy it is to take a wrong stitch? I just went straight up and down instead of on a diagonal. Got to go across. I went straight up. And in linen, it's just not that easy to just back out. Believe me, because the linen is so tiny. There we have our stitches done across this pumpkin for here. Now I'm going to work my way up, or should I work my way down? Let's have a look. I have all of this area to do in here, and I want to get to a point where I've got to skip a stitch. So, because we got to put a different color in there, and all in here is basically, so we'll just work all the top first. That's what we'll do. So above that, I need to do 2 more full rows of all of these stitches. So I'm kind of here. So let me pull this out. And I can trim that off now. So don't leave any threads and don't leave your back of your work super messy. You'll regret it. So I'm roughly about here, and I want to start over here. So I'm just going to weave my needle underneath some threads, catching the threads here so I can start over here. Okay. So there we go. It's all hidden underneath. It's not laying there. I mean, if you look at some of my cross stitching work, you'll see where I took big, huge gaps, like went right across it over here. Don't do that, guys. I promise you, don't do that. All right. So now we're going to do 2 more rows of the exact same amount of stitches. So we're going to go across and do 8 stitches. And you don't even have to poke those paper things out because they poke out for you when you push your needle in there. So I'm actually going in every single hole on beside each other. So you're not skipping any holes because there's no break in this pattern. Well, there's no break in this color for 8 stitches. Okay. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stitches complete, half stitches. Now we will complete our cross stitch by going this way.
People are saying you had said 5, not 4
5 what?
stitches. Ruby, they're saying you missed a stitch. You did 4 and needed to do 5.
Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They are right. They are.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I should have done 9. And I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go back out. I'm backing out of my last stitch I just did. And I'm going to continue and do 1. And I'm going to go do 2.
And then she'll have her 9.
And that will be my 9th one. And there's 3. So the 9 carries on for all of them. So now I'm just going to work my way back up to the top by finishing off these 3 stitches. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9.
Yay!
All fixed up. See how easy it is to fix it? What's really, really disheartening, is I have done a whole bunch of stitches, got to another color and realized, oh my God, that stitch is in the wrong place. I had to pull my work out, and that happens a lot. It's very easy to do, and I guarantee you all are going to do that. You're going to think you counted it right, but you did not. So just bear in mind that's going to happen. See how easy it was for me to skip that stitch and said I did it, and I didn't. But you're sharing all the holes with your cross stitching. So you share the holes. This is why I hate these big needles, because your thread just pulls through them so easily. But they thread easily. Maybe. There we go.
Tracy wants me to tell you that she met her husband the same day that you and Jeff got married.
Oh, really? September 27th? Nice. All right, so now we need to complete our next row. And our next row is, because I finished in this hole here, I need to start in that hole again to be consistent with my cross stitches. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm going to go up here because I want to stay on my diagonal. I want to show you because I can't go in this hole because I'm just going to back right out of that stitch hole, that last stitch I put in. So just go up here, keep your stitches consistent. Go into that one there, drop down into this one. So there, now I've got my half stitch and I can continue to do my 9 stitches, not 8. See how easy it is to fix? Well, not fix, you're going to run into that all the time. You never want to take a stitch or in a hole that you ended in, you cannot start your stitch in there because you're just going to back out and bring your stitching out. So what you do is you just skip up to the top, grab that top one and go back on an angle that way. As long as you keep all your stitches consistent. So I'm always going from right to left for my first stitch. My finishing stitch is left to right. Stay consistent. That's all I'm telling you. If you're going to have a whole bunch of different sizes, you're going to see a difference because you could see your top threads. You got top threads running this way and top threads running that way. And you really don't want that, okay? Yeah, where did Angela go? She disappeared.
You don't know. Let's see your pattern then behind your work so we can catch up with you.
Pattern behind my work?
Yeah, move your pattern over some so we can see your pattern.
Okay. Well, I'm still working on the 2 rows of 9. I actually, yeah, and then the next row is going to be 8. So I'm working on my 2 rows of 9. So this row is completed. And now I'm working on this row here. So I'm going to cross it off, but don't do that. Don't cross off any of your work till you've actually completed it. Because if your phone rings or you got just startled to do something and you walk away from your pattern, you're going to be like, what did I just do? And you got to go and search again and count. So don't. So here we go. We're going to finish this now from left to right. And as you can clearly see, I'm not going to have enough thread. So easy to start. And that's another thing, when you're cross stitching, especially with linens, your thread twists. It twists and twists and twists. So what I used to do is I just took my work, turned my needle upside down, and let my thread unwind. But you're going to end up with knots galore behind your work if you don't pay mind to, if you use a long piece of thread because you're too lazy to keep adding thread on. If you use a long piece of thread, I'm warning you right now, you are going to have major knots behind your cross stitching, and you're not even going to know they're there until you flip your work over and look at the back, and you're going to be, oh shit, look at the big knot. You can't get it out. Okay? All right. So there we have completed our 4 pieces, our 4 rows. Now the next row on the pumpkin, it's got 1 less up here. So I'm going to go straight across here, but only I'm going to skip that top one now, which is perfect. And instead of going in this first stitch, I'm going to go into the second stitch. And I'm going to skip this cross stitch because a different color is going in there. So I'm just going to continue on now. We're down to 8 stitches in this one. And I am going to run out of thread very shortly here. See how your thread tangles up? Just let your needle go. Let your needle go. When I actually cross stitch, my thread is not like, I don't start my cross stitching the way I did on this paper. I start it very differently, but it's a more complicated way, so I just didn't want to show you guys that right now. Oops. And you can always take your thread off your needle and get rid of all the kinks in it. So there we go. Now we're just going to go from left to right and finish off our cross stitch. I'm actually going to end this thread because it's annoying me. As soon as I finish this row.
Ruby, why didn't you go the whole length? Is there a reason or just preference?
Whole length of what?
Probably the row.
No, you don't want to do that. Don't do big skips. If you got no threads to go and weave your thread underneath, Don't. With cross stitching, I'm telling you, it's a lot of just adding a few stitches in your area, cutting your thread off, putting it away, and picking up the new color. Because it gets really complicated if you start jumping here, jumping there, jumping here. Do you know what I mean? You can't do that. You shouldn't do that. You can do it, but you shouldn't do it, because you're going to have a hell of a mess behind here, and you are going to, by chance, I've done that. You're going to skip by mistake and count it wrong. You're going to end up ripping that out anyway. So my best advice, I mean, is to not take big skip and go do big spots. I've learned over the years it's a huge mistake to do that. So just try not to get lazy, because that to me is just being lazy. And I was being very lazy because I just didn't feel like cutting off that thread and weaving in a new one. Believe me, you'll regret it. So to end this, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to run your needle underneath some of your stitches at the back of your work, and you're going to have no knots. You want no knots behind your work. Okay? So all I do is go back in here. I run my needle through all the bottoms of these. Look how easy it is. And when you have a point on the needle, believe me, it's super easy. So run it down in behind like so. Keep going. It's like beading. You need to be consistent. And always go up and down like this. Okay? And then go back this way. All right, and now my thread is good and tied off. It's not ever going to pull out, I hope. But I hate this dull needle. All right, look how easy. Okay, done. Cut her off. And look at my back, flat, no knots. You don't want any knots back here. I mean, it looks like a hell of a mess, but you're constantly going over and over. But there, okay? Now you're going to do the same thing. So we've got our thread here that we still cut off. You just reuse this. Where is the rest of it? Right here. Okay. It's just not cooperating, so I'm just going to pull it off.
Bye, Barbara. Have fun grocery shopping.
And I don't use a lot of cardboard bobbins. Mine are all plastic ones. I got them actually from Australia many, many years ago. I think there was like, I don't know, 200-300 in a package. All right, so I've only got one strand here, and I am working with two, so I'm going to show you. Just, you can see one's already on its way down, so just pull it out.
Crystal, you work with colors at one at a time.
Yes, one at a time, guys, one at a time. Okay, so you know what? I am going to get my pointing needle. I know I'm going to regret it. I'm not going to get that pointing needle, not for this paper. I'll be poking myself like no tomorrow. Okay, so now where you ended up here, I ended with my stitching here. So above that, let me cross this off, color this in. So I've done this row here up to right here. Okay, and now my next row, I need to start right above where I just left off. So just going to run my needle this way through some stitches here at the back. And don't pull it tight either, because you're going to distort your stitching. Okay, just run it through some stitches there. Hold it down a bit. Come back around here again. Whoops. It's really hard because this is a big fat needle. So I'm going to come back down through some stitches here. I'm going back up here. So what I did is just make a square, but it's less likely for your stitching to pull out. And when you pull it, don't pull it tight, because you will distort your stitching. Okay, so now I'm just going to work my way up here, go through this stitch. So I'm not taking a big jump. So look at how nice and neat the back is. So you're going to take this little piece of thread and snip it. You don't need it. It's weaved in there. It's safe, it's secure. You can even tug, but don't tug. So I'm going to continue up here where I left off, where my thread is, and I'm going to go right in here, and I'm going to make another row of 8, and you're going to go in every single hole because there's no stitch missing, and you're going to continue across. I mean, cross stitching is fun, and for you guys to learn how to do this, this is probably the best way to learn, because the holes are big. Until you familiarize yourself with cross stitching and the holes and the linens, this is a great opportunity to pick up cross stitching. And you can go print off a ton of patterns offline, guys, tons of them. Tons. There's just billions of them before you get right into something really detailed. And my very first cross stitch was an old-fashioned cottage with a little bridge on it. It had stepping stones, and it had a lot of half cross stitches in it. And at the time, I was like to my sister, what's a half cross stitch? I didn't even know what a half cross stitch was then. I do know now, but I didn't know then. So now we're working our way back up our row. And there's no way of cheating in cross stitching if you like want to cut corners. There's just there's no cutting corners in cross stitching. I just don't know how you would be able to do it. And in the ones that I done with linen, the stitches are so freaking tiny that now that's another thing too, is about lighting. Now, when you are cross stitching and you hold up your linen, so like for example, I'm going to cross stitch on this linen here. If you can see through it, your lighting is wrong. Because if you can see through your cross stitch, it's going to drive you nuts. Drive you right to drink, believe me. What that means is your lighting has to be over top of your shoulder, on top of your work. If you have a light coming from this direction, from here, like from I can't see, here to here, if your light's coming across the front of you, you will get this shadow. And I'm telling you, if you can see your hand behind your work when you're cross stitching, this is going to drive you nuts. And because you're not going to see your holes. You're going to be like this. Oh my God, that shadow's driving me nuts. Your lighting has to come over your shoulder onto your work, and then you won't have this back shadow.
And a magnifying glass wouldn't hurt, right, Jada?
Well, I wear my bifocals. I wear just these plain old glasses, and I have no problem seeing my holes. I don't use a magnifying glass. It's annoying me. I tried that. I don't use it. Some people can get used of it, but it's too bulky for me in front of my face, and I can't stand it. My mother-in-law.
It would be hard for her.
What?
Jada says it would be bad for her because her eyes are bad, and it's like a magnifying glass also helps.
If she used a magnifying glass.
Magnifying glasses now.
Okay, guys, we have just completed another row now, so let's cross this one off. And I'm still following these upside down triangles. All right, so now you can see where I finished here. I'm going to go up, but I'm going to skip the above one. I'm going to do one. I'm going to skip one, and then I'm only going to do 4. So let me show you how to follow that. So as you can see, I can't do a cross stitch in this one here.
Hi, Kathleen.
All right, we're going to skip this one here. We're going to go into the next one. So it's the very next hole. Okay, and you're going to put your first cross stitch in there. All right, and now the pattern wants you to skip one because you got a different color. So I have to skip this hole here and go into the second hole. All right, so I never went into this hole because it's going to have a different color in there. All right, and then just continue and do 4 more stitches. So there's 1. So there, you see here, there's no cross stitch in there. Okay, you can see that hole is empty right here. So I'm going to continue. You go in every single hole. So here to here and here to here. And I should have one left over after I complete this 4-stitch pattern. All right, so there we go. Now you're going to come up from the left to the right and you're going to work your way back, going in your stitches again and finishing off your cross stitch. Okay, so here to here.
One section at a time, Jada. If
Yes,
it calls
just,
for like this color she's working with,
yeah, and
and if
Jada,
you go
you know
nowhere
what?
else, you have to do another color.
Jada, if your eyes are really bad, hun, listen, telling you for your own good, if you really want to cross stitch, Jada, get yourself Aida cloth and get the Aida cloth that has the big holes. Now, let me show you. When you come in an Aida cloth hole, you're like, this needle's kind of fat for it. You're going to cross over this way. So you can see clearly with Aida cloth. See the hole? This is my hole here. This is going to be a whole cross stitch here. And don't pull your cross stitches tight, because if you do, you're going to have a tight ass mess.
She was just asking if it was all right to do one color at a time.
Yes, only if it's within the section that you're working on.
Right.
If you got to take a big, huge jump out, you can see my little papers are poking out of the back there. Get yourself Aida cloth. For people that have really bad eyesight, you can get really big whole Aida cloth, and it's almost like this paper, except your stitches will be a wee bit smaller, which you want. All right.
I usually use like a 18 count. You can get up to 22 or maybe even a little higher.
Yeah, you can get really, yeah. Okay, so far we have completed this stitch here. So I'm going to color that, and we've done these 4 here. So this here row is done. And this is what I mean. When you do your stitches, you've done 5, cross them off now, because now you know you got to go up. So my next row is I'm going to start over top of that one I skipped, and I'm going to do only 4. So this is where our shape's going to start taking place. So instead of me going into this hole here, I'm going to go into this hole here, because I'm going to do a stitch over top of the one that I skipped. All right, like this. And then I'm just going to keep doing this until I have 4 stitches across, or 4 half stitches across. So there's 3, 3, and there's 4. All right, that's that, and that's super easy like that. And now you're going to come back, so drop down into your bottom row here and go right, left to right top, left bottom to right top, and the left bottom again to the right top, and left bottom to the right top. Okay,
I got some really cute little Halloween ones.
and there you go. You can see there's that space for
that I've never done.
This stitch in here. Okay, that's for the browns that we're going to use for that stem. Now you're going to cross off your 4 stitches. Now, as you can see here, you can see I'm all done this little area here, except now I'm going to start going to work my way this way. And I'm going to continue with the stitches across this way. But I'm starting up on this row here, and when I get to here, I'm going to jump up and do these ones, and then keep working my way down. And I will show you how to follow your pattern, just to stay, you want to work in a little section at a time. Little sections at a time, just baby steps, just baby steps.
Way to go, Google.
All right, so now this pattern here is telling me on this row here, I need to skip 1, 2, and do 2 stitches. So for that, I'm going to skip 2 holes. I'm going to skip 1, skip 2, go into the third one. All right, I'm not taking that big of a jump, you see, not that big of a jump at all. Oops, wait. I'm actually working backwards. I'm working backwards here. So I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3 holes, and I'm going to go in this one here. Poke that one out. Because I'm working from right to left with my first stitch. So there's 1. So I'm working backwards. So you can work backwards, up, down, left, right. Just stay consistent in the direction that you take in your first cross stitch. So mine is right bottom to left top. But you could do it whatever way you want. But just stay consistent with that. Okay, so it wants me to do 2. And then right above it, right above this one here, let me finish these off because it's going to throw you off. Let me finish these 2. Just so I don't get way ahead of myself here. And now you should have 2 empty spaces to put 2 stitches in, and that's what you want to check. So 1, 2. I've got 2 empty spaces. So I can do 2 cross stitches, 1 and 2. That's what you want. So let me cross these 2 off so you can see I've done those. Now, like I said, I was going to jump up and complete these ones up here so I could just continue working downward on the pumpkin with this color orange. So what that means is I'm ended over here, so I am going to take a little jump over there. Actually, I'm going to start in this hole right above here because that's where my next stitch needs to be, is right above this one. So you can see it's right above the next one here. Because this one here is going to be, what is that color there? 720. What color is the 720? It's going to be this darker orange because that's the shadowing of the pumpkin. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to start in this one up here. So I want to go up here, skip over, and do a stitch here. And I have a stitch right there. So let me show you. My pattern here starts here. It ended here. So the one right up directly above it is going to have a different color, but the one beside it has my stitches again. So I'm going to work my way up here, and I'm going to do 4 stitches up here. I went above it because now I'm working with 2 rows, but I'm working backwards, which is fine. You can work backwards, left, right, center, just stay consistent. I'm not going to even stress that. And it's very noticeable when you're working with linen. This is paper, you can't really tell. See how I got a little knot in there? See that knot? These are nasty bitches because they are really hard to get out. Really hard. Believe me. So I can see my threads getting all tangled, so pull it down. And that's what causes the knots, is your thread just wraps and wraps and wraps. And when you're working with linen, believe me, you get a lot of knots. It's no word of a lie. Okay, so I'm going to keep dropping down here. And I'm going to keep doing, I've done 4 stitches here. Okay, now I'm going to complete these 4 stitches because I want to continue on over there. So I'm just going to keep going this way. This way. As long as I'm staying consistent on the direction I go with the first stitch and the second stitch, it doesn't really matter. You can just follow your pattern. All right. So there we go. We've got those 4 done. So let me show you what I've done on my top one here. So I've done these 4 here. Okay. You see what I've done? Does that look right to you? Those 2? And then the 4 pile right beside it above. Okay, so actually you always share holes. You're going to be sharing that same hole with 4 times. You're going to have 4 different times that hole is going to be used, because you're going to go in it with this, you're going to go in it with this, you're going to go in it with this stitch here, and you're going to go in it with this stitch here. So you're using the same hole 4 times. All right, so I am going to skip across here now. Not too big of a stitch. I mean, if you go 2-3 stitches, I think that's the max they tell you to skip. So if you go 2 or 3 stitches, that's not a biggie. But when you're going to skip, like go from here and go down here and start down here, you take that big of a gap, you're going to regret it. All right, so there's 1. We need to do 2 more. So let me go and do 1 more stitch, and I'm going to complete this row up here. And then I'm going to go back now, complete the second one. So these 4 are done because I'm working my way back down now. All right, so stitches are done. So let's cross these off. So the top part of the pumpkin is complete. So that's going to be the very top finished part of the pumpkin. So I need to drop down and continue on doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more stitches. So I'm going to continue down here, doing 5 stitches, and I'm doing my first one from right to left. Like I said, you can go poke these damn holes out. They're annoying me. Some of them are. There we go. All right. So there's 1, 2, there's 3, there's 4, and there's 5. All right. And there's 5 stitches. So there you go. I've completed, not completed, well, I've done the half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's just finish off our stitches by going from the left to the right now. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying by when you do your stitches, do them consistently. So if you wanted to start from left to right, go ahead. But make sure you do that through the whole pattern. You always start your stitches, no matter if you're going this way, this way, this way, or this way. Stay consistent. So if you're doing it like I did, you just know that you have to skip 1 more to go and start your stitch in that one. But you will end in that one. It will work out. Just stay consistent. That's all I'm telling you. Don't make all different kinds of cross stitches, because I'm telling you, it will show up on your work. And if I could grab my cross stitching and show you some of the very fine stitches, you will see that my stitches are all consistent in one direction. And it makes a matter. It makes a difference. So, all right. Looks like we've completed our stitches across here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whoops. So let's count here and see if that's what we needed to have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's right. So it's better to just keep checking and double checking and counting and making sure you left the right amount of spaces and that you didn't screw up and start in one. If one hole you're off, if you're working with a pattern and just one hole you're off, it throws off your whole pattern. So
The whole thing.
a whole thing. You have to rip out whatever it is you did and start all over again. And believe me, when you've got, let me just get my cross stitching. Let me show you how teeny tiny these stitches are, that they are not fun ever to pull out. I promise you, not fun at all. Well, here we go. Here's this one that I do have to rip out. And try to rip these out without ripping your linen. That's why this isn't ripped out yet, because I don't want to do it. Look at how teeny tiny those cross stitches are. And can you see that my stitches are consistent, all going one way? I hope you all can see that. These stitches are so freaking tiny that I need a super good seam ripper to pull off each one of these stitches. This was heart-wrenching. When I went to move this is when I realized that I had started this in the width instead of starting it on the length. So yeah, you can see all my stitches all end in one direction. But do you see how tiny these are? Look at how tiny, to my finger, how tiny that stitch is. So you can see that you don't want to sit and ever have to rip out cross stitching. I have avoided this piece of linen for all these years because I so don't want to rip all that out. Not at all. So we've got some tangling happening here. But I suggest, yeah, just order this if you really want to cross stitch and learn. My God, this, I don't know, they came out with the smartest people came out with this cross stitch board die and started in a nice thick piece of cardstock, and look at what you can accomplish. It's just, and then go take it to actual Aida cloth or linen, whatever. All right, so I need to skip 1, 2, 3 and work out of the fourth one here. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to drop down and work into that stitch there, like so. All right, and I'm going to work my half stitches going back now, and I need to do 1, 2, 3. I need to do 5 stitches. So let's do 5 stitches. 2, 3, 4, and it should be one past the other one, and it is 5. I should. All right. Believe me, I don't have this happening.
Kelly. Sometimes you have to because it's too much work to take it all out.
What? What did Kelly say?
Just get a new piece of linen.
Oh, you know what, Kelly? I'm probably going to get a new piece of linen because I am not going to sit. Nobody knows, unless you're a cross stitcher and you've worked on this teeny tiny linen. Nobody knows how difficult it is to pull it out until you have to do that. And like I said, I threw that piece of linen aside and got a new one because I was not going to fight trying to rip that out. So I just, and this here piece is my Spring Queen. As you can see, this is the one that I showed you completed, fully done. This was when I first started it. This is in the very middle of her dress. And I just like, no, thank you. No, thank you. Unless I find someone or pay them to take that out, because I'll probably never take it out. Oh my God, it's been years too I've had that. So, and this is kind of fun. Sitting and relaxing. And you know, you can go online, you can type in cross stitch lettering, and you can find all kinds of lettering, and it gives you each count, how many stitches it takes to make one letter. I did that for my cross stitch by signing it with my name in it. At the time, my name was Ruby Bruno. And it looks really nice if you can put your name. I just put R. Bruno and the year that I completed my cross stitch on. All right. So,
me too, Kelly.
Let's cross off.
Cross stitch lover.
What?
Love and cross stitch.
I love cross stitch too, Kelly. I love it so much. So are you guys learning anything? Is this helping you guys at all? I want to know if I'm just wasting my time or if I'm giving you some kind of incentive to go order this from Simon Says Stamp. It's the cross stitch die. It's the only one out there I've ever seen. And I mean, it's a nice size because you can keep cutting it. You can make this a whole sheet. You've seen how I cut it. Keep cutting it. Just overlap the last 2 rows. Overlap your die on top of the last 2 or 3 rows. It doesn't really matter. And just make sure you overlap it, period. So yeah, hopefully this is helping you guys learn. All right, we've done that. We've finished back over it here where we were. So now I need to skip next one. Oops, I see there's some more here. I need to finish here. So I am going to finish this section and my way back up. So I need to do 1, 2, 3, 5, but I need to drop down and I need to skip this one here, and I need to go into the second one and work on the second one, because right now we're making an edge, not an edge, but we're kind of rounding the pumpkin in that part. So this is why.
Tracy says you're very helpful. And let's see what. Oh, I lost it. Where'd it go? Kelly says, "Oh, I need that. I've never seen that."
What do you need? The die,
I don't know
Kelly?
what she's probably that template.
Oh, this one, Kelly Hun? This die is from Simon Says Stamp, if this is what you're referring to. This is so good for kids, too, if you want to teach grandchildren, your kids, how to do cross stitch. Look at how big ass holes these are. So this is perfect to go just print. Yeah, this is from Simon Says Stamp, and it's Paper Smooches cross stitch die. Okay, you get this at Simon Says Stamp. You can probably get it from any one of the stores that sell dies, and it wasn't really all that expensive. But I mean, gosh, this would be fun to do with the grandkids. I would love to teach my granddaughter how to cross stitch. So this might be a way to learn, teach her without getting frustrated. I tried to teach my sister Patsy how to cross stitch, and oh my God. Yeah, she drove me to want to drink. And she still doesn't want to cross stitch.
Patsy's an enabler too, then, huh?
What?
Is it Patsy's an enabler too, huh?
No.
Drive you to drink.
Oh, yeah.
Go
that way. Yes, my sister, she doesn't learn things very quickly. She doesn't catch on like some of us, like I do. And then I get frustrated and angry with her when I try to teach her. Same with quilting. I had to show her something over and over and over again, because that's just how she is. She's very, I don't even know, picky, or what's the word, OCD, that she just drove me nuts. And I'm like, how many times do I have to show you the same thing? She's just like, stop getting mad at me. Her and I used to get in a lot of fights over that. Believe me.
Yeah.
Even when she goes, I'm even scared to ask you for help for anything because you just yell at me. Ask her. She'll tell you. She'll tell you the truth. But yeah, some people are not fast learners, where myself, I can just figure things out without any instructions, or I just get frustrated. So as you can see, my little piece of thread is at its end of life. So we're going to tie this one off right when I finish this last stitch though. Okay, so let me weave it through some threads like so. Don't you pull off the needle. And then I'm going to go back up through these ones.
You ladies seeing this all okay?
Okay, and then I'm going to go back down through some more here, and then I'm just going to snip my thread. Don't pull that tight or you will distort your stitches. For the life of me, don't do that.
Lady said, this has been very helpful, Ruby. I always wanted to do this, and you've made it just look so easy enough for me to try again.
Yes. So we've done 5 stitches. Let me get rid of that so I don't get confused. If you don't pay mind to what, so what you've actually, what I've got colored in here should look like your cross stitch, right? Do you see how easy that is? Martha, do you still cross stitch?
I haven't in a little while.
Yeah. Guess it's time to get the old cross stitch.
I got books upon books upon books of cross stitching. Books, tons.
I have a ton.
And sampler ones that are really so darn cute. You could like put a magnet on the back of it and put it on the refrigerator.
Yeah. All right.
And I've got beautiful letterings with birds and stuff, and I've actually done them and made them into Christmas ornaments before.
All right, guys, so I'm over here now. What I want to do is I actually want to start over here and finish off my stitches here, and then I'm just going to work rows and rows and rows. So this opportunity I had was finishing my thread over here, which means I can start it over here now and continue with doing my rows instead of going back and forth, okay, or going all the
Or
way
if you
down
get
here, then all the way back up here. So up here, you can see where my 2 stitches are, and right below these 2 stitches, I needed to put in 1, 2, 3, 4 more stitches and have 2 empty ones here, 2 spaces here, and then the additional ones here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring my thread up over into one of these stitches here. So all I'm going to do is work my way with my needle.
And if you get bored of doing one color for a while, switch to another color, like
yes,
do the stem instead.
Yes, because it does get monotonous. Believe me, it does.
Yeah.
It gets very boring when you're working with the same color. You've got to kind of put it down or go pick up a different color and start doing.
Crochet.
Yes, I do.
She crochets.
I knit, I crochet.
My knitting is terrible.
Oh no, I do all of that. Knitting, crocheting, everything. All right, so I'm going to go back down here. Get out of my way. It's a lot better with a needle with a point on it to weave through your stitches, because this blunt end, it does nothing for you. All right, so I think I'm good and weaved in. I'm going to trim this little thread off where it caught.
Johanna says Ruby can do anything. She's amazing.
Oh yeah, sure. All right. All right.
Joanne, they also have arthritis crochet hooks. If you look hard enough for them, they're a little bit bigger, and they're so your hands don't cramp up as much.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yep.
All right, so here's my 2 stitches. Here's my 2 stitches. Below it, I need to do my 4. So I'm just going to bring my needle up here, like so, and drop it right below my very first stitch, and start doing 4 stitches here. Finish my row. Like so. Now, that one should have,
Look what, ladies, that I got at the dollar store in the Halloween section. Hot pink night gloves. Cool, huh?
What is that?
It's a glove. It's one, well, what do they call it? A fishnet glove, yeah. Hot pink for $1. In the Halloween section. Matches my blouse. What can I say?
Okay, so I thought I screwed up, but of course I did not, because I still can put 2 more stitches, and there should be 2 empty spots here for this color here, so it worked out perfect. So I know that this stack here of stitches in the right place. So I'm going to finish off my stitches, and then I can complete that row.
Hi, Quilter. Thank you, honey. Hi, Mary, Ruby, Martha, Jeff. Yes, they do have arthritic crochet hooks. They're a little bit fatter and thicker, and they kind of...
They're a little more expensive, but
nice,
just buy the ones that you need to use. Okay, so there's my 4 stitches done. So let's say this whole entire half of this pumpkin row is done on this side. So there there's my pattern complete, and that's what it looks like.
Bye, Tina.
Okay, see? It's right to a T. Now, this is perfect because now I can drop down here. I can skip one here. So I'm going to drop down, and I'm going to do one below this one here. I'm going to do 4 stitches, skip 2, and then do 5 more. So let's do that. So I'm not working out of this one here. I got to work out of the second one. So I'm going to drop down into the second one from... I always follow my previous stitches. That's how you prevent yourself from screwing up. See? This wants me to do 4, so I'm going to backtrack now and do 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, when it says to skip 2, it doesn't say it. It shows that it's a different color. When you skip 2, you skip 2 holes. And when you're working backwards like I am, I'm going to skip 3 holes and go into the 4th because that's where my second cross stitch will go in. So I've done my 4 and it wants me to skip 2. So I'm going to skip 1 hole, 2 holes. I'm going to skip 3 holes because I am not going to actually start in that one. Or am I? Hang on. This one here has to be below the second one. So I'm going to drop down here. So I am going to skip 1, 2, and I'm going into the 3rd hole. And I'm going to make a cross stitch here. And then you can see I have room here. There's two holes here. I have room to put 2 stitches in there. So you can see it's starting to take the shadow shape. Now you're going to skip those and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to do 5 more. So I'm just going to continue on. And that means I should be 1 stitch past this one ending there. And if it worked out, then you know you did something right.
Oh, Donna, I've seen some of them arm knittings with the great big, wow, that would be fun. A great big old blankie.
I'm actually going to use my tool to get rid of these holes because some of them are really hard for me to get out. What did I do with that sponge I got? It's brand new. Where to put it? Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Okay, so.
That was cardstock you used for this, right, Ruby?
Yep, this is just really thick cardstock. That's all I used. And I'm going to run this over top and start poking out some of these holes because it is driving me crazy. Whose dog is barking?
Oh, that's Grace. Okay, I'm
Is
sorry.
that Gracie?
Yeah,
Aww.
she's upstairs barking at a squirrel.
Hey, Mary.
Yeah,
Hi, Mary. You're so quiet.
I've been on mute because it's been crazy in here and I just don't want that again.
So you can kind of see where some of my holes are going to be complicated to poke.
Funny, Tracy.
But I got the most of them out. Okay. So I could use this or my pokey tool, which might be a little easier. And poke out some of these dang holes. Because it does drive me nuts that the holes are not already poked. Seriously is driving me crazy. And I don't think I'm going to be going that far over, so I'm just going to do a few here. Don't need all, ouch. I don't need them all done.
Yeah, pokey too pokey, isn't it?
Yes, it is a pokey poke. Might need to do some over here, so I'll just kind of, there we go. Now you can see the mess. Look at this. Beautiful. And it don't come off this foam that easy, these little tiny dots. There we go. We got her. All right, I'm happy now. I don't have to worry about poking those out because they are annoying me. With a dull needle, it doesn't work that good. Screw it. It's all going on the floor. All right, so I'm working with 1, 2, 3. So 4. This is almost feels like Ada cloth, this paper. And 5. Okay, like that. Perfect. Now we're going to complete it. See, I've got a knot here now. Damn you. There is 1. And when you're doing this on linen, you know you can't pull these stitches tight because you will crunch them up and distort them. And you will know when you pulled it tight. So just give it a nice little tug like this. That's it. Don't pull your cross stitching. Leave the whole length of your stitch showing. Now in this paper, considering these are pretty big holes, you can use thicker thread than DMC. One thing I don't recommend is there used to be, and I don't know if there still is, but Walmart used to sell anchor thread. The dye comes out of that thread extremely bad, so whatever you do, don't ever buy anchor thread. Stick with DMC floss. Okay. Now we're going to color in this because we've completed this row. And we are here again. So now I'm going to drop down and continue with staggering these stitches to make a nice round pumpkin. And it probably doesn't look like it's going to be round, but it will be. I think I have to do 4 stitches again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, and then I'm going to skip 2 on this row as well. And then the next row I'm only skipping 1. So there's 4 stitches done. And I'm going to skip 1, 2, and I'm going to come up in the third one. And I'm going to do 4 more stitches. And this is going to be finishing at the same height or width of that one. So I should end exactly where it ended in the last row. And that's exactly right. Okay, see? I have completed my half stitches all the way. Goes here that this one ends right below that one. It's not stuck out. So I'm right. Done it right. Pretty soon I could just whip along here. You guys don't.
Whip it.
Um,
Whip it, whip it, whip it.
They're probably bored of this orange already, but it does get boring. This does feel like plastic. This thick paper with all these holes. It feels plasticky to me. And there we go. All right, done. Cross her out. 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches done, and 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches done. Okay. Now we're going to drop right below and continue right below this one. So I'm going to work right in this stitch below, doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches this time. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, 4, and 5. All right, and now we're going to skip only 1, and we're going to work out of these ones here right below, and then we're going to go 1 extra, so we have to do 5 more. Whoops.
Oh, I got 3 of my dies I ordered from Blitzy. Or wait a minute. AliExpress.
Yeah.
One of them. I had 3 of them in. Yeah.
Nice.
Do you have an
Oh, wait a minute.
embossing
2 dies
machine?
and 1 rubber stamp. Sorry.
Did you get yourself an embossing machine or a die cutter?
Yep. She got a Sizzix Big Shot.
Yep.
Whoa.
And I got Tim Holtz's stamping platform. And I got me
Got lots of goodies.
4 embossing folders at Arnie's. I got some stamps and dies. I got the layering pine tree with the die cut with it. $28. Holy crap. But I thought I was buying WOW embossing powder. No, it was WOW glitter. So I had to take it back and find something else to buy plus $20 more.
Of course.
Yep. Oh, cool, Tracy. What'd you order? Joanne says, this is so much better for me than watching TV reruns. Actually, I've got Wally on the TV right now. What else did I get at Arnie's? Oh, I got that Wick pen. I got a couple ink pads, papers. Can't remember what else.
What's a wick pen?
Oh, it's that little pen that's got the little glitter on it.
Oh, Wink of Stella.
Yeah.
She means
that
Wink
one.
of Stella. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Which they do come in different colors.
Yes, they do.
The clear best.
That's the one I found. Clear.
All right. We
And
have
I got my,
finished all those.
that static pad.
So I've already gone through that hunk of thread. So I'm just pulling off some more off my floss or my bobbin. Some more floss off. All right. And now I'm going to just take 2 strands because that's all I've been working with.
All right. Tracy. Yeah. Got glue, paper, Christmas dies, stickles. I know Joanne's has got a 50% or 60% off stuff. 50%, I think.
Whoopsies. This happened. Wow.
Embossing folders and value pack paper. 50% off. And then Mom's the Word, 40% off entire stack of paper crafting supplies, which means, oh, we should go get inks.
Okay.
We should go get inks.
Not that.
40% off.
I'm going to do something different. I ain't doing it that way.
You still ain't got a red or a red ink yet.
So I'm going to do it my old way, like that.
Now I want to go get a, no, what do they call it? Where you can do the foil, that little machine.
Yeah, Heidi
Laminate.
Swap Mink Machine. All right.
Tim Holtz Distress Oxides on Joann's for $2.99. Whoa, ho, ho, ho.
All right. There we go.
Wow. Yeah. Plus a couple rummage sales and Salvation Army and St. Vincent de Paul's and this other restoration type, I don't know, something store. I spent about $200. Which was fun. I gotta show you this stamp. You guys tell me you think what it's worth. Okay. Oh, let's peel this off first. I thought this would be cute, and even neon colors, or, you know, nice little spring colors. And they had left. But check out this stamp.
Oh, that's very beautiful.
Oh, that is.
And guess what? I believe it's a Prima. Yep, Primo. Guess how much I paid for it?
$5.
99 cents.
For $99. I thought it was a darn good deal.
That is.
It is a good deal.
Because you can cut around the oval part and put butterflies on it, and pretty cool. Then I got this at Ernie's. Oh my God. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love the snowflake. And it's a die cut. And these I got at the Dollar Daze. D-A-Z-E. This one was $2.99.
Nice.
And it comes like this. Ain't that cool for $2? $3.
Absolutely.
And then this one, Ruby's gonna have a kick over. This one was $5.
There's Martha's crown.
And wings.
And wings.
I got wings and a crown. My lions like to have their crowns, you know.
Yes, ma'am.
And this one I got, oh my God, this is too dang cute. I don't know if Ruby's got this one, but hanging next to it was the one that she has. But this one I like.
Is that
Hello,
gingerbread?
snowman. Isn't he cute?
Sure is.
Yeah, I like him. It says, may your holiday sparkle like a snowman in winter. Snowman melt your heart all year. And have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Oh.
Yep. So, I think I'm going to be doing good for Christmas cards. With my
I know
hot
I
pink
would.
gloves.
What, Penny?
Debbie said, do you get dazed when you walk into the Dollar Days? I said, I know I would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
Okay.
true. They're not all $1. But, you know what? I didn't see any of their gardening stuff, so I wonder if they
That
took
is-
that down. Because I needed another fence or two for... I'll probably never find another piece like them anyway. But I needed it for Fuzzbustle Memorial.
Yes. That's good you got to bury him.
I love Dollar Days. Oh my God. Seahorse wind chime there a couple years back for like $3. And it's hanging in the bathroom here.
What was that, Ruby?
I didn't see nothing.
Oh, I thought you did. Sorry.
No, no, no. All right. Skip one.
Starting to look like a pumpkin.
Yes, ma'am, it is. This is actually pretty cool on the paper, I must admit.
Okay. I need paper.
Make a lot of cards, Christmas cards, and everything, and be really personal by, you know, sending a special card that you hand cross-stitched on it. Oh my gosh, what a great idea. I did see one with the mantle and stuff on the mantle. It was so pretty. I should have downloaded that one, but it's much bigger than this, and I didn't want to be here all day trying to do this cross-stitch. But as you can see, it's a time-consuming process. It's not something you're just gonna, you know, when you're cross-stitching, I'm telling you right now, see this little area here? Okay, once you get settled, see this little area, guys?
Mm-hmm.
that was a whole day just doing that little area.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Whole
I
entire
believe
day,
it.
and that's all I got done. So let me tell you, that's very time consuming, especially working with the linen. But once you get the knack on the linen, oh, it's easy. It's so easy. All right, back to what I was doing here. Oh, I forgot the paper. All right. And you could try and do it that way too, instead of, well, with the paper it works. Except this big ass needle. There we go. It is really taking its shape like a pumpkin.
It sure is, Cupcake.
Now I need to drop down and do, see, now you can see where it's just going to be all kinds of skipping here and skipping there kind of thing. So I'm going to finish this top half here. So I'm going to weave I'm going to do these last 3 here. Okay, 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I need to drop down and do 2 right below each other. Right below the 2 I've done already. And I'm back at the same place where I started in here. I just worked my way around and it worked out perfectly. So there's 2 there, and I'm going to skip 1, 2, and do another one. Skip 1, 2, and do another one in here. And that one should be right below this one, and it is. And then I need 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to skip 4. So that's about the maximum you'd want to take for stitches. But because I'm OCD, or which way am I going here? Up here. 1, I need to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need to do that last stitch right here is where I need to be. So I'm going to just run my needle up there on the top, because like I said, I'm OCD about long threads in the back here. And then I'm just going to work my needle across so I don't have, like, look at this here, see? It looks like a long stitch, but I have it weaved under threads. So that way it doesn't snag or catch. All right, now I'm going to drop down here and put my last stitch in here. Shoot. Maybe.
Oh wow, I just had a sneeze attack and I actually muted just in time. Wow. I didn't think I could move that fast. Oh, I snuck up on
Bless
you.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bless you.
Goodness. I can't believe I actually clicked it that fast.
And done.
Right. Now I'm weaving back through because I don't want the long threads here. Weaving back. Continuing on here and putting in these last 3 stitches. And again, I'm going to weave up here. Where is it? Which direction am I going in here? I'm going back that way. Oh, I could just skip over those. It's only 2, 3 stitches. Yeah, 3 stitches is okay. Even in the paper. Not that big of a deal. 1, 2. There we go. Now, look at that. So that whole half of the pumpkin is, well, that's only 1/4. Well, no, it's a little more than half.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's quite a bit done.
that's a good third.
Yeah. So let's cross these off because this is how far we've gotten. And this one here. Okay. We're done there. Now I'm going to weave my way across here and finish these rows, and then I'm going to work up here and finish that, and then I'm going to change to my colors, and then we will do the bottom. All right. So I'm ending here. Again, like I told you, don't leave big gaps. So I'm just going up here, the next row up. I don't care which row, just as long as I am not got big, huge threads hanging there. And I have to go right across this whole board because we're starting on the other side of the pumpkin. See? How much nicer your back will be, even though you have all these threads running. You just don't want any knots. Because if you wanted to frame this and you have a whole bunch of knots back here, and when you get this framed and pressed, all those knots leave bumps. They'll leave bumps and show through. All right. We're at the end here. So I need to skip 1, 2, 3, and in the fourth one, I'm going to do a cross stitch. So we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one. So I should be able to put 1, 2, and 3.
Is everyone implying that Mary's going to have to share her crown with Ruby now?
What? I share no crown.
Mary,
What?
you have to share your crown
With Ruby.
I
with
don't have
me.
a crown.
It's
Martha
Martha.
has a crown.
Martha has the crown.
Yeah, Martha stole my crown.
I've got the crown.
Martha's a crown thief.
Oh, they're saying that Ruby's gets the Enabler of the Year award. So I thought maybe they were implying that the crown needs to be passed over.
Well, I did send Ruby a few things.
Yeah, and I just quickly glanced and said, "Get lost, Mary."
I tried that this morning too. It didn't work.
Oh my God!
I was looking at some Christmas paper for you today.
That's what I was doing late last night, trying to find some. But the ones I found so far, she already has.
Well, I found one that she doesn't have yet.
You did?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's not a 12 by 12 pack. It's a 6 by 6.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
So I was like, it's no
There's
point in
sometimes
showing
8
it.
by 8s, but I don't mind 8 by 8s.
All right, time to go up here and do another stitch. Oh, Jesus.
I think I am going to get that machine that you suggested, Mary.
What
Which
machine?
one?
The one that doesn't have to have all the. The
one I sent you, Ruby. The one with the motor.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The what? Huh?
Oh well, you weren't paying
The
attention.
motor. Explain that one.
It's an embossing and die cutting machine with a motor, so you don't have to crank it.
Oh, okay.
But you can use it either way.
Yeah. I think it was on sale at, where was that? Scrapbook.com?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where you linked it to me.
Yes.
All right, getting there. But I'm getting up for a minute, so I'm going to take a minute break, come back and do these few more stitches, and then we can change color, and then you're going to really see. We'll do this piece first, and then we'll do the back stitching for this, and I'll show you how to do back stitching. So that's super. Well, yeah, this is back stitching, and it doesn't really tell you what color for the back stitching, so it looks like gold. Let's use gold thread, gold metallic thread. That would look pretty good. All right, I'll be right back, guys. Anybody want to show anything?
No, I'm just working on your Christmas card. And I really don't want to show it.
Oh, can I see it?
Oh.
All right.
Everybody
I don't
this.
care.
Oh, you should see the cards that Ruby made me. I stole them. She made them with the deco foil, and I just said, "Oh, thank you for making those cards for me."
Ruby's gonna have to literally sit on every single thing as soon as she's done making it, because between everybody in here and her sister.
Oh yes, Patsy, Patsy, Patsy.
My boyfriend is now enabling me while he's at work. God, it's ridiculous. He doesn't feel that my laminator that I've had for years is good enough. So since he works, at the electronics place, at Best Buy,
Mhm.
he uses his employee discount and said, "I just ordered us the biggest one that they have. Period." I'm like, "What?"
Okay.
Yeah, it does like 14-inch by whatever, infinite length. I'm like, okie dokie. I said, why again did we need something this large? He said, well, because I don't want a small one. I'm like,
Go
all
big or
right.
go home.
I
That's
said,
funny.
I don't understand. He says there's a method to his madness. I'm not going to question him. And he ordered some really big, huge laminating sheets. And he has to order them from their warehouse because they don't carry it right in the store all the time. And so they'll be in probably about a week. I don't remember what. Oh, and then he also got me a little food processor to chop up my polymer clay, the
Oh,
dry
wow.
stuff. Because some of the techniques you actually use your dry crumbly clay, but it requires to kind of chop it up in little chunks. And it's hard to do by hand when it's crumbly like that.
Yeah.
So it's just a cheapy little like food processor chopper. But he got 2 packets of the laminating stuff. They're 50 sheets a piece, really big pieces, and the chopper and the laminator, and it all came to $100
Oh,
because
wow.
of his discounts. It was over 40% off everything.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I'm just hoping that laminator brand is good. It's only cool if it actually is a good machine. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of a waste.
I would share with you guys, but sorry, I made Rice Krispie squares.
Oh.
Yeah, just stick it in the camera.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have words for you.
That is so
But
mean.
Where's
listen,
the chocolate chips?
I hate chocolate chips.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Right? But this here, I used maple butter
Ew.
that you can buy here. Oh, it's so good.
Or butterscotch too. Yummy.
And I used, shredded, little shredded, not shreddies, shredded wheat, but the mini shredded wheats, the cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
I crunched them up, and they're inside here too. Look,
Oh my God.
That would be good.
it's very cinnamony.
Any kind of cereal in there would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever made special K bars?
No.
You wouldn't believe what's in them. A special K
Oatmeal?
cereal, and of course you could still do your mini wheats because any type of cereal is good made into bars. And it has your typical Rice Krispie thing, but when you're making the um, melted butter and marshmallows and all that, you put peanut butter in it that melts down, and also butterscotch chips, and all that is mixed in with the cereal. Then you push that into the pan, swish it down. Then you mix butterscotch chips in with pure chocolate, and you
Oh,
pour a layer of chocolate over the top.
that's too much chocolate for me.
Nummy, there's no such thing. That was a sacrilege. Don't ever say that again.
Take chow mein noodles. You know that chow
Oh,
mein
yeah.
noodles.
My mom used to make those with
Mix
butterscotch.
it in with
chips.
butterscotch. Make bird nests.
Yep.
Yum.
My mom
Yep.
always made those for a Christmas cookie exchange.
Those are delicious. It's one of
My
my
God, and you know what's even better? When you put them in the freezer and freeze them and you eat them frozen, because the chocolate's nice and, well, the butterscotch chocolate whatever, is nice and hard, and they just melt in your mouth.
Oh, and Triscuit crackers. We used to take those in college when we had like no monies. We used to take Triscuits and put peanut butter inside them, make a sandwich with 2 crackers, and dip that in chocolate and put them in the freezer.
Oh, yum.
They're really, I mean, it takes like 5 minutes to make like 20 of them. You just melt the chocolate in the microwave and dip them, or pour it on top and throw them in the freezer. They are so good.
Debbie says, it's okay, Ruby. I'm not a huge chocolate lover either.
Okay, face palm to both of you. I'm sorry.
That's right. Out, out, out with yous.
Palm in the face.
Quilter says, Ruby, are you going to Crunch? Wait
I
till I
know.
tell Angela.
Hell no.
I was waiting for that one.
Mary, you like chocolate, right?
If I don't eat chocolate, I'm not breathing.
Yeah, I was going to say I actually probably sprout fur and
I
fangs.
love chocolate.
If somebody doesn't give me chocolate, I will turn into the beast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Not a big chocolate. My daughter makes them with Oreo cookies and chocolate chips, and I can't stand them.
Oh,
Ruby, you have no
yeah,
good
that's a little too much for me. I just want to make sure the chocolate's in there.
Chocolate ganache is very good.
Oh, I love ganache.
I want to learn to make ganache.
It's very easy.
Really easy.
It's
So
just
melt
melted chocolate
cream
with
Yeah.
cream, whipped cream in it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not
Heavy
whipped cream. You got to use
Heavy
heavy
cream.
cream.
Heavy cream, yeah.
Heavy cream, yeah.
It's
But
so silky smooth.
Yes.
The ganache, the type that you have to make, that I like, has to be like the expensive kind, like
Of
the
course.
Godiva chocolate, you know.
Like
Yep.
in Lindor's.
I'm a chocolate snob. It has to be. It has to
Oh, I
be
love
from in
Lindor.
a bar, not chocolate chips.
Hershey bar. Hershey and almond bar nut. Oh,
It
God.
has to be dark
Oh, how
chocolate.
could you sit and eat a hunk of pure chocolate?
Like this.
Because I don't buy milk chocolate. It's all sugary. It's really expensive stuff that is dark chocolate. It's all organic. And it's about 80% cacao.
Especially hate dark chocolate.
Cacao.
Really?
Yep.
That's how it's said, cacao. That's how it's pronounced.
Why don't you like dark chocolate? It's good for the
Oh,
heart.
it's so bitter. I know it's good for the heart.
That's
it's
my
really
excuse.
healthy.
Very, very bitter.
No other form of milk chocolate is not good for you at all. But there are health benefits in dark chocolate.
Yep.
the
That's
only
what I
kind
keep
of-
saying. But it's not showing up. It's just still showing on the hips. And it's not showing the benefits.
Not if you eat the high cacao content. There's hardly any sugar in it.
Well, then that's not fun.
I know. I think we ought to take intermission. Everybody go grab a snack.
I'm out of chocolate.
I don't have any.
I don't have any. Wait a minute. No, I
Don't even, Martha. Don't.
I don't got none.
And you say you don't, but you do.
I got spinach dip though.
Yum.
No.
I love spinach dip.
Spinach dip. So I took with
I
me
do
up.
too. As long as you don't put mayo in it, I like it. If it's sour cream or cream cheese, you put mayonnaise in that, I ain't eating it.
Mayo. I've never had that with.
Oh, some
No,
people
me
make
neither.
it with mayo,
Like cream cheese.
with mayo and sour cream. Oh, it's just disgusting.
Ew, there's no point in both of them.
All right?
So,
Wow.
Gross.
that a little bit. Put that over there.
I don't like spinach at all.
Oh, I love
Tastes like
Oh,
spinach dip.
I don't like it cooked, but I like it raw in the spinach dip.
Oh, I love cooked spinach too.
yep, you're supposed to eat it cooked anyway.
Don't like it. It tastes
Feel like
like
Popeye the Sailor Man.
dirt.
It doesn't taste like dirt. You're supposed to wash it. Silly.
Yeah, Mary, you should
Not
wash
supposed to go out and graze in the garden, for
eat it.
God's sake. Pick the stuff and wash it.
like dirt.
Like dirt.
It does that.
I'm
And
supposed to be
beets.
licking the garden, for Pete's sake.
Yeah, you're not supposed to lick the garden.
She's out there on all fours. I hate spinach, crunch, crunch.
That'd be funny.
Oh, I think the neighbors would probably make a phone call to give you a vacation. Can you
She needs
imagine?
another
white
vacation.
jacket with you.
What is
she
she
needs a-
doing out there?
She needs another one.
Oh, the visual.
Oops.
Oh,
But I
goodness.
mean, it just actually, to me, it actually tastes like dirt. I don't know why, but I cannot get the taste of it. You know, it just doesn't sit with me. I can't. That and beets. I think it's because I was forced to
Ooh,
eat
I
it.
love beets.
Oh my god. It's like I was forced to eat that when I was a child.
But I
So
don't like borscht. Borscht. Oh,
I don't like
borscht.
borscht either. I don't.
Yuck. But beets is so good in homemade
Oh
vegetable soup.
god.
Mom used to make beet pickles all the time.
Yeah, my mom always pickled beets and horseradish all the time.
Oh, I love horseradish. Yummy.
Yep, you'd
I
like
like
beets and
horseradish,
horseradish.
but not beets or spinach.
My sister loves beets and horseradish. She always eats it with her steak.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep,
poor woman.
right? She loves it. I never did like pickled beets and horseradish. But
Oh,
that was my mom and dad's favoriteest thing at pickling time. My mom pickled every year, never missed a year.
Mm.
Yep. All right, we are getting close. Now I got to do a completely new row, same as the one I just did. And because I'm starting in that same stitch, I have to take the top first.
okay. Let's try this now.
Martha just went muted because she's having a snaky poo. I know that probably means snacks though.
Yep.
Oh,
Time
Yeah.
for a snaky poo. I was over here giggling.
Right, snack, not snaky.
Yeah. The woman who has no chocolate. Sure.
She's snake wrestling there, so she muted us.
I got a touch of a headache. My allergies are really bothering me. That time of year too.
Have you
Stupid.
drank a lot of liquids so far today?
No.
Yeah, I haven't seen any coffee come up at all.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might be a little dehydrated.
No, I've been drinking my coffee. It's right here. It's cold as ice.
Okay.
Jeff made me that when we started. And yeah, it's really cold.
I want to get one of those Yeti cups. I think because I don't mind cold coffee. I like iced coffee even, but
All
it's
right.
going to be winter here soon.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so the next row, I still need to skip one because we're going to be going backwards. So I get to start here. And how many do I need to do? I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it should start tapering on the edge of the pumpkin. So when I finish these orange ones, I'm going to start with some color. And then I'm going to end my broadcast. Finish the rest some other time. We'll get the top half done.
Up, peep.
You heard that, eh?
So cute. That's tiki, isn't it?
Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, we got our 6 done. Now we'll go back up. I'm just doing this a little cheater way. All right, we are done. Okay. Same as the next row. There is 2, 3, 6, skipping the first one. All right. Get her done.
Get her done.
And We're skipping the first one and we're going to do 6 more stitches. All right, now we're going backwards.
Tony installed the television in my craft room yesterday
Nice.
before he went to work. It's
Hmm.
getting there.
It's getting there.
Yeah, it's on one of those swing arms, so it's up in the air.
Yeah, nice.
Too hard to see stuff if it's down on a table when you're looking over TV, or I mean computer screens and machines.
Yeah.
And so we put it up in the air.
Okay, from the very top where we have nothing up here, I need to start above the space on that one. So I need to start above this space here. So this one here. And work my way across by doing 6 more stitches. And then we're done with this orange for now. Mhm. 4, 5, and 6. And those are done already. That's a lot quicker doing it that way, I'll tell you. Now I need to do the next row, which is the last of this color for now, above the space on the next row. So above the space, and I've got a lot of tangling going on here with my thread, so I'm just gonna get rid of it. So I need to do above that one. So there is this one. We only have to do 4. 1, 2, and 4. Okay, time to go backwards. Do 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, we are done with the top half of that orange. Isn't that cute? So now we are going to tie off. I had a pointy needle to help. I'm going to work my way down by doing like a little box shape here. And that will help keep my thread from ever coming loose. Like so. Okay, so now it's up to you if you want to throw this thread away or save it for a few extra stitches. I'm the type that's going to save this. Now, this color here is going to be in the brown. So let's bring the brown in and grab a nice chunk. I don't know why they didn't do that green.
Quilter's leaving.
Bye, Quilter. I'd say.
She says, God bless you all. We'll see you next time. Good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.
Take care. All right. So, snip the piece off here. Grab 2 strands of the brown.
Okay.
There we go. All right. So that was easy. Now, let's add some color in our pumpkin now. Okay. So I need to start somewhere in here. So let's see where we need to start. Right in this one here. So it's 1, 2, 3 rows down, 2, 3 rows down, and then that little space there. And no, there should be just 1 there. So wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. See, something didn't work out. I think I did 1 row too many. Maybe right here. Start down here. There we go. So I have to start right in there, in this one here. So I'm going to go back here, leave this fat ass needle. Holding that. And then going back down. And then back up. And I think we are good. Now that I give my thread a tug, it doesn't pull through, so that means it's secured. All right, so I'm going to start my stitch in here. There's my first stitch. Okay.
So Roku is free then, huh, Crystal?
And then you need to do 1 above here. So you can see I'm forgetting to color in what I'm doing. We will do that. Do this row. So we've done that one, and now we need to do 4 across. So let's get up here. We're going to start here, and we're going to do 4 across. There's 1. 2.
Yeah, Roku comes with a separate remote control as well.
Why, do you have to go to the store and buy it?
I don't know, Tony.
How do you get a separate remote?
Tony just brought it home with him. We have Roku and all kinds of crap.
Roku. What are you guys talking
It's free.
about? What are you guys talking about?
It's just another provider for different channels.
Oh,
just
I
like
see. Okay.
Amazon and Netflix and all that stuff.
Oh.
All right.
I think you have to make sure that you have a smart television in order to use them, though. As long as you have that, you should be able to use them.
But it's free, but yeah, you.
Okay.
Well, it's not free. You have to. Do you have to buy like the package and then get it?
I personally don't know. I didn't set it up. That was all Tony did it a couple of years ago. I think you do have to actually get equipment for it, though, in order to use it.
Okay.
You can go to their website.
You can buy the remote, or you can install the remote on your phone.
Oh, shoot.
I just know I'm constantly juggling remote controls around here. Too many.
But Crystal, you can install it on the computer. Okay, cool. Thank you, Crystal. So wheat. I have to check that out in a little while. And then if Ruby ever gets this cross stitch done.
Oh, shit. I
Why?
forgot one.
Yep.
It's all right.
Oh,
It's looking like a pumpkin.
cool.
It does look like a pumpkin.
Investigate, Jada. Poor Joanne. She said, that leaves me out. My television is dumb. My television, I'm the only one at my house with a tube TV. As long as it works, I'm okay. Buying a new TV takes away from my crafting supplies.
It sure does. All right. So we've got this done. This done. Now we need to do one in the middle there.
Okay, Joanne.
One. Then we need to do two.
At Walmart for $50.
There's one. Two. And
Yeah, I know you can get them from Walmart. The devices. There's just so many things of setting that up. And this was
then 1, 2, 3.
what Tony chose to do. It's all his deal.
One. We need to do 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4. Okay.
Oh, crap. I gotta have.
4. Now, the last but not least, we need to do 3 more, and then the brown is done. That's how fast we did this. Whoops. We don't want to go up there. And 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So there's the top part. All done. Isn't that cute?
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm just popping these out because I'm going to do the back stitch. And I'm going to end this thread. So I'm going to run it through here. Run it through here. Oops.
Jeez, I wish I knew how to transfer my vids to the TV without having that cord in between. I guess I got to get smart and learn how to use the smart TV. I don't play with any of the buttons really. I should.
Okay.
Tracy says, I've got to go, everyone. So, Ruby, I will be trying this. Thank you for your showing how to do it. Bye, everyone. Take care. Bye, Tracy. See you
Bye,
next time.
Tracy. See you. All right. Now, I'm going to use this gold thread because that's not in this project, but this anyway. And I'm going to use some gold thread, and I'm going to leave it full thickness because it's a back stitch and you want it to. So I'm just going to cut some off. This stuff is very fraying. It frays like crazy. Oh, I probably shouldn't use all 6 strands. Okay, we'll use 4 strands. Okay, so I'll set those 2 aside. We will use all 4 of these. Okay. Yeah, you don't want it that thick. See how free it is? It's awful. All right. So this stuff here indicates your back stitching. Now you can see my back stitching. It's going to come up from here, but it's going to go in between the stitches. Then it's going to go here and to there. So you've got to follow how your back stitching goes. So I need to start right there where the 3 are, where these 3 are, and come up here and back stitch up there. So these don't want to come up.
You'll be doing the back stitch real soon. Are you getting ready to back stitch?
Yes, I am.
Yep.
Yes, I am. But I'm trying to poke this dang hole out. All right, let me just run my thread through. Oh, shoot.
Hold it through.
Yeah, I pulled it right.
And if you wet the end of your thread really good in your mouth, it will stick to the threads underneath. But don't pull it so tight that you'll pull it all out, but it will stick if you wet your ends.
Ew.
And when you sit there and you're doing a big, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, Crystal, I'm not even upgraded to a smartphone yet. I was going to go look at them when I was up north, but the store was gone. They were really nice, too. Last I'd been up there, anyway.
Okay, this is going to be really hard for me to do because There's no way to go in between unless I poke a hole in there. So I'm just going to pretend that there is a hole already there, because on a regular cross stitch board, that hole will already be there. So what it wants me to do is to come up here, right beside there, and it wanted me to go between these two stitches. Well, unfortunately, I'm going to have to go on here and make a hole up here without damaging this paper, which I'm sure it will. So I'm just going to make it actually below. I want to go there. Okay. Pull that. Now my next stitch is directly into the corner of the next one. So I'm here. So what you're going to do is you're going to come underneath here. Is that the where it wants it, or up here? Yes, right above it. So I need to go in that one. So I'm coming out of there, but now I'm going to go back into this hole and back stitch. Like so. This is the most awfulest thread to work with. All right, so you did that. Now it wants you to go on a diagonal. So it wants me to go up here on this one on a diagonal. You're going to come up in that hole. You're going to back stitch into the hole that you started in. All right. Okay. Now it wants me to go up again on a diagonal. So I'm going to go up on a diagonal here, like so. And then I'm going to go back into the hole I originally was coming out of. Make sure you pull all your threads. This metallic thread is a nightmare, believe me. And you go back in your hole, and that creates your back stitch. Okay, like that. See? All right, now I've done my 2 diagonals. Now I need to take 2 stitches straight across in the same line. So I'm going to come up in this one, like so. Pull all these threads. And then I'm going to go back in that one I started in. And pull all these threads. Okay, so there's one. Now they want me to make another one. So I'm going to come up in that one. And hang on, let me clean up all this mess here because this thread is horrifying. I hated this thread in my projects. Really and truly hated it. All right. So I've started out of that hole. Now I'm going back in that same hole. So for every stitch you take forward, you go 1 stitch back. I've done that. Now they want me to go from that corner to that corner. So they want me to drop down into the next corner. So here, whoops, into this corner here. Okay. And then you go back into the hole you were originally starting out of. So. Like that. Okay. Now we've done that, so now we have to take a stitch straight up and down. So let's go straight down to go in. Is that you, Mary?
Yes. Not eating. No. This is from the kit.
Yeah. Hi, Mary.
No, it's the royal, I can't even remember it. The royal necklace.
Oh my, yeah.
Yeah. It's just the plastic that it came in. I just
It's
keep putting it.
Summer Royalty Brace.
Summer Royalty.
Yeah, you can never remember that, eh?
I don't know. What is wrong with me?
Okay, so we took our up and down stitch. Now we're going to take our diagonal stitch. So now we're going to drop down into this on a diagonal, coming up from a diagonal. And now you're going to go back. And that is all a back stitch is going forward and right back to where you started. Now we need to take 2 stitches straight across. So let's go 1 here, back in this one.
Oh God, there goes a dog again.
And
Okay, I wrote that one down.
there. And we are done with the 2 stitches across. Now they want you to take 1 straight up. So let's go straight up like so. Okay. And back down where we started. Okay. And now my last stitch is on a diagonal. So this will be the last back stitch of this little curly Q on the pumpkin. And there is your back stitch. Okay. And that's what it looks like when it's all completed. Now lettering, when you do lettering, it's in similar form as this. So if you wanted to do lettering and you didn't want to do cross stitching, you can do back stitching in lettering as well. Very, very, very easy to do.
Backstitching was also a main part of embroidery. Plain old simple, period.
Oh yeah, that's basically all embroidering is back stitching. Right, one after another. Yeah. I don't do a lot of embroidery, but my mother was an embroiderer. And I have these pillowcases here that I have never embroidered that my mom gave me. And she used all this DMC cloth to threads for embroidery. So now all I'm doing is tying off my thread, going back down into these, working my way down till I've got a nice amount of threads I can go under. Thread is so horrible. And then I'm just going to work my way back this way. Like you can weave it up and down, in and out as many times as you want, as many times as you feel safe, that your thread is nice and secure. And that's all that matters. And I'm going to go up here again, just because of this being so damn fuzzy wuzzy. Was it there? Oh gosh, I need to pull it off a bit. All right, there you two, and you. Where's the other one? Oh, there should have been 4 strands here. Come on, guys. Where's the 4th? I see 2, 3, this one, and this one. Oh, this one didn't even make it. Okay. This is a nightmare. This thread. Thank God I don't have a lot of back stitching to do. And whatever I used here, I'll use here too. Even though I thread. I avoid this thread at all costs. There we go.
Oh, no one.
This one. And the only reason I keep going back and forth with this one is because of the fray problem. There we go. Now, let's see. Bit of the dark orange now. This super fast. I'm not gonna piss around here. You guys get the gist of how to do this now with just regular threads. Look at how pretty, guys. That is so cute. That metallic thread is gorgeous, eh? But it's a nightmare. And back stitching is also nice and really thick. So it's thicker than your regular threads here. All right, let's dig out 2 pieces of this stuff. Martha, I think your TV is very loud.
My TV, I can't even hear it. You're hearing my air conditioner.
No, really? Mm-mm.
Really.
Mm.
My TV is probably on a 6, and I can't even hear it.
All right, well, just it sounded like people talking. And everyone else
That's all
was
them people in your brain, honey.
hell to the no.
Test
People in
the
my
voices,
I do?
Ruby. Don't listen to them.
gosh, I got voices in my head.
Don't listen to them.
Well, I knew it wasn't used to because both of you are muted. Martha was the only one not muted, so I have to blame someone. For shit's sakes.
Yeah, it sounded like conversations.
I swear I should have picked, I should have seriously picked.
Why didn't I think of doing that first? Duh.
But I knew I would regret it, so.
I want a set of infinity oval dies.
You get those from Hero Arts?
I got mine from AliExpress.
Are yours infinity?
Yeah,
What's that?
Yours infinity?
Yeah.
Really?
All the nesting circles, squares, ovals, hexagons. I have a hexagon, like a frame type circles, ovals, and circles.
I got the circles that I got with the big shot, but I need the ovals. I need the ovals. But in this new little one that I bought, it's got an oval in it. Like, duh. So there I go.
Here we go. Let's get her done.
So, 3, 4, 5, 6. All that cutting out I did, and I could have just done that. And they'd be all perfect, same size. Yes, that's what we want. We do.
So all these gaps in here, all of these have to be filled in with this darker orange.
Funny, Jada.
Hopefully you can see
Funny.
Pretty.
the difference in the shading.
Now,
I'll get one side done and hopefully you can see the difference. I don't even need that anymore because I know this is the only color left in the top part of it.
Debbie is asking if there's something different about infinity dies than dies of graduating sizes.
there's more in
There's
the
more in the affinity.
Yeah.
More.
the graduating one. You only get like 5 or 6.
Yeah, the infinity ones you get like 20.
Yeah, I just did a search on Wish and also on AliExpress for infinity circles.
Yeah.
Did they come up?
What'd
Yeah.
you find?
That's what I got. And it was all, different shapes.
Well, how many pieces?
I didn't count them.
Well,
Probably 10, I think, maybe.
Oh boy. Okay. So I need to do 2, 2, and last. That's it. That's all the dark orange that's in here. So now I got to go over and start down here. So let me just color in what I've done here. Okay. This is that light green colored. But you can, I don't know, can you see that? Yeah, you can.
looking cute.
Yeah. Now I'm just going to work my way up to the top. Or down at the bottom, whatever, don't really matter. I'll work my way down to here.
And real professional cross stitchers, if the back don't look similar to the front, you're not doing it right. But we don't care.
So well, I don't think the back will ever look like the front, but I have seen where it has.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So just going to fill that in.
4-0.
When I was little, the lady that lived next door to us, hers was like that. You could flip it over. It was just as neat as the front. So I
Yep.
thought that's the way all of it looks. I haven't seen it since. Not anybody like that. Not like that.
So this is one thing you want to be careful because my thread ripped that hole somehow. And it went all the way up there. No, get back down, biatch. See, that's a no-no. That's a boo-boo. Well, we're just gonna have to make do with that.
Whoa, what was that?
Wasn't me.
That was
What?
weird.
Welcome back, Quilter.
All right, I don't know if that's gonna work, but well, you can kind of see a boo-boo there because my circle broke. Can't fix it.
Joanne asked, Ruby, what are you going to do when you finish the pumpkin?
Make a card.
There you go.
It's going to be a card.
Yeah, that would be cute, Crystal. She says, can you imagine how cute a mini album would be with a few pockets with little cross stitch? I got some
Yeah.
cute little tiny cross stitch stuff.
Okay, now I got a knot in this. Are you serious?
I've always regretted selling all of the embroidered pillowcases and stuff that I made. I mean, especially the pillowcases. I wish I had the actual pillowcases I made. Because the stuff you buy in stores are horrible quality.
Yep.
Stupid me. Sold them all.
Well, make you a new one.
I can't do that anymore. I just can't see. Everything's double vision for me.
Oh, poor girl.
I'd be seasick trying to watching the stitches move, go back and forth. Oh my gosh. Oh, just the thought of it.
I could understand that.
Oh no. I miss it though. I really did love embroidery. I like all the little knots. And I was the first, well, that and crochet were the first little things that I learned when I was real little. When you make your own pillowcases and that, the quality, they just last forever.
Yeah.
They do. When they're handmade, there's just no comparison unless you buy super expensive, sheet sets and stuff.
So what are you saying? You bought material and sewed your own pillowcases?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
And then I would draw on, little designs, little floral or scrolls and stuff, and then embroider those and then sell them as a set.
Cool.
And I really regret getting rid of all of them.
Yeah, you should have kept a couple.
Or all.
What kind of material did you buy to make them with?
Cotton. Real nice, soft cotton.
Yeah.
Yeah, they whip up lickety split. And as far as, the pillowcase itself, and you can get as squirrely as you want to about your designs,
Oh, yeah.
I
got a whole lot of them. Remember them old iron-on designs that you could iron on and then embroidery?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. And that would make them vintage, retro. That would be very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Wow, Debbie, how lucky. Plus some furniture, scarves, and aprons that her mom had embroidered.
I have a dresser scarf. That's all I have left of my mom's.
I don't know what I've got in there of my mom's. I got her oil painting. I got 2 oil paintings. Jackets and stuff she's made me. Because she was a seamstress. I always wanted her to paint me one of them saw blades. A hand saw. I always wanted her to paint me one of them.
Why?
Just because I always wanted one.
Oh, okay.
They're really cool. Haven't you ever seen a painted saw?
Yeah.
No.
That's why I was thinking Ruby didn't see one before.
No.
The old rustier one that you can find, just clean it up a bit and oil paint on it, and there you got a picture to hang on your wall.
There you go, Martha.
They even use round saw blades too.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, you can paint on anything.
How is that? Nice.
Looking good.
Flat back. Look. You can see the darkness, the darker orange. You can really shows up.
Nice contrast. I like that.
This up, and then I'm going to end broadcast. Hopefully, it'll end today.
Mine ended fine yesterday. I don't understand what happened.
I don't know.
That's strange.
It ended for people, but it looked like I'm still live. It won't end the broadcast.
You got to read Crystal's thing there, Penny.
Yes, I'm ignoring your question. No, Crystal, I will not be doing any of that stuff.
Crystal says, "Oh my God, Ruby, this is gorgeous. Seriously, I love this."
Who said that?
Crystal.
Oh, Crystal. Yeah, Crystal, this would be a lot of fun for making nice little Christmas personal cards. So many free patterns online.
Quilter, did you ever get any pictures of them? Share them with us, honey, if you did.
Did we mention that her pumpkin design here that Ruby has, that was a free download as well? And for people that were new, that have, arrived after it started, she did put the link for this download so you can print it out, and it's in the description box.
Yep, first. So do I need to go all the way down here and do one right to there? Yeah. And then we're done for today. And I hope you guys learned something. I was able to be some kind of teacher.
Well, good for you, Donna. She makes her own pillowcases and embroidery on them.
If I have fabric, I would be tempted to try, but I'm not going to buy fabric and then find out that it's just too hard to see.
Right.
But it's so worth it. It is. It's very little effort, very, very simple, and they're going to last many, many years. And they're more comfy, too, I think. The cotton is better quality.
Well, yes, my dear. Okay, so there's 2, 4, 6, 7.
There we go. Look at that.
Pretty.
That is all I'm going to do for today, guys. This is all done. All this. All done.
How far are you getting on your pixel work there, Ruby?
I've only got one panel done.
Well,
That's all I'm going to work on because look at how pretty. And it's almost actual size, to be honest. Almost.
Crystal says, raising hand in class. I learned. I did. Thank you, Teacher Ruby.
Yay! I'm glad you all learned something then.
Hey, here it is. Like there's no tomorrow.
Yes.
Jade.
But yeah, this is, look at, even my little curly Q up there is so stinking cute. So stinking cute.
It's so stinking cute.
Oh, it is.
Jada says, well done, Ruby. Thanks.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you all so much. I hope you guys try this. Really, I do. I really think even for the people that are blind and can't see very good, I'm telling you, how much bigger do you want these holes and still have a really pretty, like that's going to make a nice Halloween card.
Yep.
Right?
I'm gonna cross stitch on a waffle.
There you go.
There you go.
I can see that.
You can do
Oh,
with
yeah.
chocolate syrup.
Yeah, those holes will be right big for you, girlfriend. Oh my gosh, yes, you could.
I can't promise it'll be pretty.
But you can't promise you'll get it done.
For
The
sure.
waffle will be eaten before the cross stitching will be done.
Tony would eat it.
Yeah.
Yes, he loves
Yeah,
waffles.
I'm not a huge pancake waffle person.
Me either.
Jeffrey is, though. He is a freaking pancake fanatic. He eats
There's-
like pancakes every weekend or waffles. So
They're a
yeah,
pain in the hiney to make, and they're so filling that they're delicious. But
yeah,
they're just
they're too filling.
exactly. It makes me feel like I have bricks stuck to my ribs.
Like when I go out for brunch, I never take pancakes for breakfast. Like why?
No.
And then he can't eat anything else
I know.
because it's full on the pancakes.
Everybody laughs at me when I say that, but that's how I feel. It makes me feel icky.
Yeah, guys, I think that's going to make a super cute card. So
Yes, you could, Crystal. You could add anything in there. It depends on what you're making. You know, if you're doing like an Indian scene, you can use porcupine quills, whatever. You can use
yes,
bugle
I do, Crystal.
beads.
Hmm?
Yes, I do. This is made by Sizzix, and I love this way better than I love that Spellbinder one. That's the new Sizzix. It's my little friend. It's my new friend. Look. Oh, it's not going to
Trend
fit
to
like
the
that.
end.
But it does hold my heavy, big-ass scissors,
Woohoo!
right? That's how strong that magnet is.
I probably shouldn't have one of those because of the metal plate in my head, right?
Mm.
No, at least you'll know where it is when you're looking for it.
New
Right,
hat.
yeah.
Permanent hat.
I
Yeah.
promise I'll come back tomorrow and we'll finish this up together and just chitter chatter and just so you guys can see what we can make with this after. I think it's so stinking cute. So we've got more than half the pumpkin done, I think. No, we got all this bottom to do. And I got all my
You're
back
almost
stitching to
halfway.
do in here. So,
You could
Yep.
even forego that particular bottom and get creative with that. If somebody
Yeah.
wants to.
what?
You could even forego that particular design bottom and, do your own.
Oh, yeah, I know, but I don't want to. I'll just follow that pattern.
Yeah. That's cute.
What's up?
Johanna, the link is right below the video. Click on description or show more box right below the video you're watching. Scroll down, look at where you have all the information in there. The link is right there. Just click on it. Yes, what would you like to say,
Say
Crystal?
what, Crystal?
I won't get burnt out, Joanne. I'll know when my time is to stop.
And
I have a
ammonia?
glass top.
I
use
always made
vinegar.
Herb clean my stove. I hate cleaning them burner grates.
That's
And
why
ammonia.
I
Oh
own
my.
a
Ooh,
glass
the
top.
smell.
What was that?
I need to do that outside.
That's why I own a glass top, guys.
Yeah, they are easy to clean.
Oh, yeah.
I wondered if you could just bake them in the oven, like
And
cleaning
with
the.
having Miku in the house, I have to be very careful with the chemicals I use for cleaning. Very
Oh
careful.
yeah, birds are very acceptable to other
Yes.
types of chemicals.
Teflon pans, too. You're not supposed to use them, apparently.
No, and you're not supposed to ever clean your oven. You know the self-cleaning oven that I have?
Mm-hmm.
I've had my
Plastic and
stove
the
for 2
crud
years.
will
Never clean the oven.
wipe
Because
right
you
off.
would have to go outside or somewhere
Yeah,
for
Crystal,
5
thanks for that.
hours.
Ammonia. I don't even think I have any ammonia.
Ammonia is very strong.
I know, but it's smell. Oh God, it smells.
Mm-hmm.
Knock you right on your
I
out of
just
your
put it in
socks.
a tub and put all 4 of them in it and just set it outside.
I always just use vinegar and baking soda. Let it soak on there. Make like a paste.
Hmm. I got lots of vinegar.
It's a great, really cheap too, of course. But it's a great degreaser. It'll take everything right out. You can clean the inside of the oven with it too. And
Okay,
pans,
meeting's
like your pizza pan.
starting. All right, guys, I'm getting off here.
Okay.
Okay. Have a great day, everybody.
You
It was
guys,
fun.
Thank you.
get your cross stitch maker, and go and order it right now from Sunny's Stamp and get one of these.
I'm gonna go look for more stuff to enable Ruby.
And you can design your own with these. That
I'm
beading,
not joking.
that beading
know.
graph that Ruby said a long time ago that she does some of her beading graphs on. You can also put that to use with your cross stitch.
Yes,
Every little dot is
absolutely.
one cross stitch.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. God bless you all. Love you all so much.
Bye.
And I'll see you guys real soon. Bye, ladies
Bye,
on the panel. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you all. Bye.
What fun. What fun.
everybody.